"You don't really believe the humans could do that, do you?" Cabal declared as his iridescent wings fluttered, the light catching on their shimmering surface. CL, her segmented eyes shifting to a sorrowful blue hue, paused in her grooming. "Yes, I do. While I was an attendant to Hive Queen Clay 3 cycles ago, we visited the human hive world Lom. A harsh, arid place, the third planet, though now it is the second since their sun devoured the first. But an entire atroxian armada." CL's voice trailed off, her mind wandering back to that fateful visit. "Surely you just..." Cabal interjected, his disbelief palpable. The two Chians overlooked the alien starport, a gleaming silver structure against the rust-red world below. "I assure you, Exad, my tale is real," CL continued, her tone softening as she recalled the details. "Queen KXA was envoy to the human hive to broker an alliance. Our borders are shared with 3 of their worlds, humans." Her voice faltered as she searched for the right words. "They are eccentric," she finally said, her grooming slowing as she pondered the best way to describe the bizarre species. Cabal's antennae twitched in disbelief. "Eccentric," he repeated, his voice laced with skepticism. Queen KXA had trouble comprehending them too, CL admitted, her mandibles clicking softly. "I would argue that humans are the most unique in the galaxy. No other race compares." Isabo, who had been silently listening, rolled the colors in his eyes, a gesture that CL had come to recognize as one of contemplation. Krug frowned as much as her rigid mandibles would allow, a habit she had picked up on Lom. Her gaze scanned the starport below, searching for the right words. "See those ships down there," she said, pointing to a massive vessel with tall, white shapes protruding from its surface. "The Vorin." She explained, "They come from an ocean world wrecked by earthquakes, yet they worship the 1,000 cliffs, each representing a religious hero or deity. Every one of their ships is a Fimmel and avatar of a god. They're tenaciously held together by grav cables and shield generators, said to be the strongest ships in the galaxy." Isabo admired the colossal ship. "Rather big for a cargo ship," he mused, his eyes narrowing as he studied the intricate design. "Must be picking up rust spice from the Oral Garden Cave," CL added, her tone wistful as she remembered the haunting beauty of those underground caverns. "I saw a ship like that while amongst the humans," she continued, "massive and white, filled with outcroppings and crags. They claimed it could destroy stars. With the number of black holes in human territories, I suspect it might be true." Iskut, puzzled by such a claim, tilted his antennae in confusion. "I cannot fathom the power required for any race to possess a single ship capable of functioning as a star destroyer. World devastators, perhaps, but not stars." CL shrugged, her gaze drifting to another ship just taking off. "The Tisan Balaga," she said, pointing, "able to open wormholes. They were the first to meet the humans, and the first to have their technology fall into human hands. Though the humans acquired the technology, they couldn't utilize it fully until they developed a star drive. Not unless they wanted to cross these starless sands for many cycles," CL remarked, her tone tinged with frustration. "You don't see many of those tech sands around anymore," she continued. "I was part of a raid on one of their world cycles ago. They could only fuel 1 star drive at a time. Our queen said they tended to cross streams and negate each other." "Indeed they do," GLR chittered happily, her mandibles clicking in rhythm with her excitement. "The humans eventually mastered their star drives, but their true innovation lies in their stargates, a network that connects all their hive worlds, available both on planet and with massive ones in space. These gates proved to be a significant nuisance for their atroxian invaders. The pirate legions invaded Clay first, seeking to destroy the human homeworld, as they always do, but they met resistance from an endless stream of human warriors. In space, they were beset by a human armada," GLR continued, her excitement palpable as she recounted the tale. "Though the Atroxians eventually managed to destroy the space portal to stem the tide, it was only a temporary victory. The Atroxians also invaded Lom, where we were ambushed during our cycle talk with the humans." CL's voice grew quieter as she recalled the cultural exchange with the humans. "During our exploration, we observed many memories of the humans. From their world-ending wars to invasions by their 2nd and 4th planets, once beautiful garden worlds. The 2nd planet is now covered in toxic gas, and the other is stripped of atmosphere and barren red from beta particle detonations. The Everwells in their home system were all gas and razor wind as well, which they fed on with their digidrones. We witnessed their sorrows and joys, their hopes and dreams, and even their most vivid nightmares. But what stood out most was their lava-like curiosity and neurotic excitement." "How so?" Iskut inquired, his curiosity piqued as he watched the engine flare of a belted Gumper disappear into the now setting horizon. Didn't they meet the atroxian force with sheer numbers? CL's response was laced with amusement. Yes, they did, but unlike the Belrugans, the Texians, and any other species I've mentioned, the humans are the most varied by far. They claim that their ships were not inspired by the races they encountered, but that the technologies they acquired made their wildest fantasies possible. They fielded a fleet of star-eating cliff ships, Otog-Digi of Anir cubes, and even an island-shaped ship with 2 long warp drives mounted to it, which they claimed was their flagship, the Enterprise. Most importantly, not all of these hive ships move the same, nor do they possess equivalent technology. When the Atroxian world enders arrived over Lam, the humans entrenched their Star Destroyer hive ships to deter them. Their Enterprise and many other ships like it positioned themselves between the enemy fleet, with shields and plasma lances at the ready. Their heavily armored battle stars and digi-hive stars deployed thousands of drone craft. But what did the most damage were their beta particle explosives. If the Atroxians survived those star blasts, they would face an agonizing existence. I understand they have a variety of unique ships, CL, but you haven't explained why they are eccentric. Cabal pressed, his eyes flaring orange in irritation. Krug's chitin washed with a sorrowful blue in apology. Humans are eccentric, yes, CL agreed, her voice growing softer. Another drone might argue that they are insane. Queen Calais and her attendants witnessed it firsthand while aboard their flagship. Normally one would keep their diplomatic ship far from battle, but the human hive leader laughed and assured us that their shields would hold, and if they didn't, a blue box would arrive to escort us to safety. Apparently the humans are experimenting with time travel, CL continued, her voice tinged with disbelief. Though they can only go back a few turns, the crew drones we saw were all bright and calm, keeping score of enemy ships destroyed and cheering whenever one blew up. You've dealt with the Atroxians before, so you remember their attacks on our hive worlds. The human war was nothing like the carnage we faced then, when not serving their hive. Humans engage in entertainment digimemories and viewings of old battles and lives. The crew even joked about an Atroxian boarding party getting onto the ship. But when word came of the Clay Stargate's destruction, they didn't flinch. An easy fix, they said. We'll just warp a fleet over to reinforce real quick. At one point, the Atroxians resorted to kidnapping our illustrious Queen Calais to their ship, which made the humans furious. Their leader ordered the crew to open a hush casket, and though I wasn't there to witness what transpired, a crew drone later told me that a single human boldly boarded the enemy ship and saved our queen, killing all Atroxians in his path. Isabel mused over this, his thoughts swirling with the implications of what he had heard. They sound like a powerful adversary, he finally said. I see our queen's wisdom in aligning with them, but why? CL's eyes flickered with a mix of emotions as she explained. It's not the ships, nor the technology that makes humans eccentric. It's the fact that their designs aren't based on religion or rule standards, but on their dream memories, their fiction. As they call it, they use technologies alien to them to make their wildest fantasies come true. And now that the Atroxians have been repelled, I hear the humans are heading to the Atroxian home system. They acquired the coordinates from the digi brain of the captured ship, CL continued, her voice low with a sense of foreboding. Queen Ka begged them not to send a halo, but they reassured her they were only sending something of equivalent intent. I believe they called it a Death Star. The weight of her words hung in the air as the Chians stared out over the alien starport, the silver structures gleaming against the rust-red horizon. The humans had proven themselves to be more than just a formidable force. They were a race driven by dreams, guided by curiosity, and unbound by the conventional limits that restrained others. And as they prepared to strike back against the Atroxians, it was clear that the galaxy would never be the same again. The Chians knew that the alliance with the humans was both a blessing and a curse, for while they had gained powerful allies, they had also become entangled with a species whose eccentricity and unpredictability were unmatched. If you enjoyed this story and want to support us, please leave a like and subscribe to our channel. For every comment that says we will heart every single one of them. Thank you for your time.